Week 5 was one to forget for the Dallas Cowboys as we welcome you into Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Dallas falls to San Francisco in their worst loss in over a decade. 42-10 the final score. The Cowboys had 156 consecutive games without losing by 30 or more points. That streak comes to an end. It was the second longest active streak in the NFL, but it's time to talk about it and move forward as they welcome in the Chargers, or they head to SoFi Stadium and play the Chargers on Monday Night Football this week. Barry, I'll start with you. How surprising was the result against San Francisco on Sunday Night Football?
I think it was extremely surprising. You know, to score 42-10, I didn't think it would get that out of hand, but the most surprising part to me was the trenches. When you look at it, the trenches, they got dominated on both offensively and defensively, and they knew coming into this game this was going to be a physical bout, and only one team showed up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the offensive side and just say the lack thereof, the ability to be able to move the ball. I mean, you talk about under 200 yards of offense, 8 first downs total. It was a little bit concerning to me that Dak continued to find ways to throw the ball into coverages that he knows he shouldn't be thrown into. So these reoccurring problems for me and the lack of production there and creativity was the most concerning to myself.
The physicalness of the game just wore me out. And the Cowboys couldn't get physical. Everybody want to talk about scheme. They want to talk about what happened here and there, but we were not physical. We didn't meet force with force, and that's what the Cowboys got to learn to do, play with a certain amount of physicalness.
Yeah, it was their worst loss in terms of point differential since 2013. Isaiah, what was the most concerning aspect of the loss? I mean, it was a complimentary one, offense, defense, special teams, but was there one that stood out?
Yeah, I mean, the red flag for myself, it has to go to Dak. And it's not all about Dak, but my concern as a leader of this team is you cannot continue to make the same mistakes that have kind of haunted you in the past. I know it's Halloween, but we got to do away with some of these bad decisions. You know, when you talk about press man, you talk about cover two, there's certain concepts, certain routes that you just can't throw into, and you have to be able to negate those mistakes by making the right decision.
Yeah, this was a bad loss. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But to me, the concerning part got to be defensively. You know, they got whipped at the line of scrimmage. They got whipped in all phases. And this was supposed to be your foundation, your strength of the team. And they were out there and they got manhandled for 4 straight quarters. So hopefully with a week under their belt, Dan Quinn can get these guys ready to respond against a great LA Chargers offense.
You can't let a third down play where you come up and make a late hit disrupt you. This team did not handle adversity well, even from a coaching standpoint. When you were in certain situations, you know, you just didn't handle that adversity well. That's what we got to get better at, coming back from bad situations.
Well, Nate, you're talking about adversity. They're going to face some in terms of guys bouncing back with some injuries to deal with. Leighton Vander Esch, he's placed on IR. C.J. Goodwin also placed on IR. They lost some key members of this defense, special teams, and then offensive units at the same time. Nate, how do they respond and get over that adversity like they weren't able to do in Week 5?
Well, just each player got to take it upon himself, you know, like Marquise Bell, and that's just a name that come to mind that may have to play a little bit of that linebacker. He's a little undersized guy. He's a hybrid guy. You just have to take it personally as a player that I'm going to do my job and make sure I do everything to help the team win.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they suffered some tough injuries on Sunday. To me, the biggest impact is going to be Vander Esch out there. To me, this guy was having a heck of a season, second in the team in tackles, and he was also the quarterback of this defense. He got everybody lined up and going in the right direction. So to me, the Cowboys are going to have to find some way to replace this guy. Do you put a bigger safety in there like a Marquise Bell or Wanye Thomas, or do you go with Jefferson in there? Either way, they're going to have big shoes to fill for the rest of the season.
Big shoes to fill, but my biggest concern is going to be the production on special teams and the lack thereof, because whoever you're asking to come in and fill in for these voids is going to come from that special teams unit. So now you're going to expect that third of the game to really take a hit.
It's a domino effect, and they may have to go out and get some help as well off of the open market. Certainly not an easy task on the way, and especially with the team that they're going to face on Monday Night Football. Justin Herbert is back for the LA Chargers. So is Austin Eckler. So is Derwin James. So is Kellen Moore at the offensive coordinator position. We'll talk about this Chargers team and some of the matchups to expect in Week 6 when we come back.
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Reliant, official energy provider of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan.
We're 5 games into this year. This was very disappointing. It was if you will, it was a stunner. But we've got to approach the thing from a piece by piece, put our head down and step out there and go to work. And we're not going to have a better chance to go to work than we do against the Chargers here Monday night.
Jerry Jones, presented by Texas Lotto. He knows what's on the docket in Week 6, a very talented Los Angeles Chargers team. We'll start with you, Barry Church. I mean, the quarterback position with Justin Herbert is as good as any in the NFL. He is playing some sharp football, and his offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, is putting him in some successful situations.
Yeah, without a doubt. I believe that this is the best quarterback the Dallas Cowboys will have to face all season long. When you talk about from a talent standpoint, he can make all the throws with his arm, and he's athletic enough to hurt you with his legs. So to me, this Dallas Cowboys defense, they've got to make him uncomfortable in the pocket out there and switch the coverages up in the back end, because if you give him the study guide before the test, he's going to make your defense pay all night long.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Barry. I mean, you're familiar with what Kellen Moore does offensively and what he can provide for offenses. He has the tools, he has the receivers, he has the running backs, and now he has a quarterback that can simply make these passes in any part of the field because he has what we call cannon. And he makes good decisions. He has 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. This dude is making it easy for Kellen Moore to be successful.
He's a scout's dream. 6'6", 236. He's Barry Church Fantasy Football Player of the Year. I mean, this kid has it all, man. We have to put pressure on him because we don't. He will pick us apart.
From one fantasy football player of the year to another, how about Austin Eckler? 7 receptions is all he needs to hit 400 in his career. He'd be the 4th quickest running back in NFL history to hit that mark. Isaiah, what kind of challenge does he bring to this Dallas defense?
Well, you had a blueprint last week against McCaffrey, luckily but unluckily. But, I mean, he's very similar in that regard. He can be utilized in the backfield. He can be explosive. He's small. So, he presents the same issues that, Deuce Vaughn presented really for teams in the preseason. So, the type of player he is. But, again, he's a matchup nightmare. Whether he's lined up in the backfield or whether he's widened out as a receiver, he's capable in both senses.
I'm with you 100% there, Isaiah. But what's good about this guy right here, man, is he does it all. He's a 3-down back. He makes everything. He can catch. He can run. Like you say, he got that Deuce Vaughn and loosening for his hiding behind the line. This guy is very explosive.
Yeah, this is a dangerous duo in the backfield, but if I'm a Dallas defender, I got to focus solely on Austin Eckler out there. He's the true difference maker when you talk about a receiver and running back combo. Like Isaiah said, similar to Christian McCaffrey out there. And this offense led by Kellen Moore, they're going to try to make him that spark plug, that big play guy out there. So defensively, they have got to know where number 30 is at all times.
So, Barry, if you're focusing on Austin Eckler, how do you focus in on guys like Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, Gerald Everett? I mean, there's more weapons on the outside, too.
Oh, there's plenty of weapons out there. And even though they do not have Mike Williams out there, they are still dangerous. Led by Mr. Do Everything, Keenan Allen out there. This is an explosive offense, and Keenan Allen, he knows the route tree. He knows how to expose the defenders out there. So it goes back to what I said earlier. They're going to have to heat up Justin Herbert out there to kind of get that connection between him and Keenan Allen off, because if they don't, this man has the ability to go off.
He can't go off, and mainly because of how Kellen Moore utilizes these guys. You can't find Keenan Allen. You don't know where he's going to line up at. Outside, inside, motion, shift. They motion like Canadian football. So they get the ball to him in all different types of ways. But it's the schemes that they're putting these guys in. It's immaculate.
And also, not only are they weaponized on the offensive side, they've got some dudes on the defense, too. The numbers haven't been there, Nate Newton, but they are dangerous nonetheless. Who scares you the most on that defense?
Bosa,
Mack.
The Day Kid. They got a bunch of guys that can play in it. They have the I can't think of number 43, number 3, a big old safety back there.
Derwin James.
Yes, sir. Keep an eye on this guy, man. I mean, he's coming off the injury report, but keep an eye on him.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye on him because they're all pro safety. And even though the numbers don't back up this defense, they are pretty good in my opinion. When you got the edge guys off there, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and then you talked about Derwin James in the back end. They are a solid defense. The statistics just don't match it, but they're going to come to play come Monday night.
Yeah, there's plenty of weapons on each level of the defense. Currently, the Chargers rank dead last in passing yards allowed. They're second to last in terms of total yards allowed, but they do have weapons, and they're getting healthy on that side of the ball as well. When we come back here on Special Edition, we take a look at how the Cowboys are celebrating Mental Health Day at the Star in Frisco right after this.
This segment was brought to you by the NFL Fan of the Year, presented by Captain Morgan. This segment is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
October is Mental Health Awareness Month, and the Dallas Cowboys are doing their part in the community, even hosting some local students out at the Star in Frisco for a fun day of yoga with the Dallas Cowboys rookies. With more on that, here's Nicole Hutchison.
Kyle, you might remember in 2021 when Dallas Cowboys QB Dak Prescott used his platform at a sponsorship event to raise awareness and open up that conversation about mental health awareness. Well, now that conversation has become louder, larger, and a conversation that's really been accepted around the NFL lately. And Dallas Cowboys Rookie Club, presented by blockchain.com, they're taking part in World Mental Health Day. They've brought in 80 Cedar Hill ISD middle schoolers participating in yoga. The players led breakout sessions, and it has been such a great environment here at the Star.
To have our platform to be able to come out and be with these kids, and it was really good to be able to kind of just meditate and to be able to just kind of be one with your own thoughts and then go through some poses.
What was your favorite pose?
We did, I think it was I don't want to butcher the name, I think it was Havasana.
To be able to come in and get your work done during the day, during the week, and then to be able to decompress and have that time for yourself, because again, the balance is so important. The things that you want to fill your mind with are also important with how you're going to be mentally.
Kyle, it's been so much fun here. The students got to leave here with some gifts. They got nutrition smoothies, t-shirts, yoga mats, you name it. They got it. They left here with smiles on their faces, and the players left really loose and stress-free. But that'll do it here at the Star. Reporting, Nicole Hutchison. Back to you, Kyle.
Thank you very much, Nicole. Of course, the check-in with the Rookie Club this time around is brought to you by Reliant. And when we come back here on Special Edition, we're going to take a look at how the Cowboys can take away Khalil Mack. How do they slow down the edgy pass rusher from Los Angeles? We'll talk about it on the Film Room next.
This segment was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
The Los Angeles Chargers bring a couple unique perspectives to the defensive side of the football, especially against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 6. Welcome back into Special Edition with Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans as we take to the film to take a look at what Dallas can expect from this Chargers defense and what they can expect. Maybe some passing lanes if they can get the ball off, because there is a pass rush with Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa that they bring to the table. These two guys fly around. What do they do differently than what Dallas has seen previously?
Well, they're constantly moving, Kyle. And last week when you faced Nick Bosa.
Different
right?
Bosa.
Different Bosa. Bosa boys, okay? But one Bosa was the 49ers you faced last week. He had kind of a day against you. But now you're going against his little brother, okay? You're going against young Joey Bosa. And he does things a little bit differently. But he's not by himself. He has a goon that he has with him on the opposing side of the defensive end, and that is going to be Khalil Mack. In my eyes, and from my perspective, that's the man that you really need to have your eyes on, but both guys are a problem. So right here, you're going to have a Joey Bosa. Right over on this side, okay, you're going to have a Khalil Mack. Both guys demand your respect, okay? Both guys need to have their attention on them. But what do they do on the defensive front? They run stunts galore. They want to free up these defensive ends so that they can go out there and make plays. So what you guys are going to see here, okay, you're going to see this defensive tackle try to cross the face or really try to pull the offensive line to the right side, okay? Then what you're going to have here is you're going to have this man try to split. When you have that happen, what does Bosa do? Bosa takes his time here. And he's going to come over the top and really come in here and cause some issues because the offensive line has to try to pass out their responsibilities. Let's see it play through. Boom, you see it right there. Boom, pause it there. Okay, you saw the defensive tackle has to try to split. Now, when he splits, this tackle, this offensive guard is now tied up. Okay, we talked about this side. Everybody's passing off over here. Okay, now you have to worry about Murray. Murray's right here at the linebacker position. He's going to come up here and take his time because he does not want to insert too early because the running back would pick up his main guy, who is Bosa, who is now going to come off and come make the play. Play it through. Boom, there he is, sits, he comes right underneath, makes a sack, They did a good job of freeing up Bosa on that particular play. That's what they do on the defensive front in terms of stunts to free up Bosa.
So Bosa specifically, though he has had a great career, has never had a sack against the Dallas Cowboys and only 3 career pressures against Dallas. A lot of that coming against Terrence Steele. You'll see that matchup again on Monday. But what does Khalil Mack do differently? Because he had 6 sacks against the Las Vegas Raiders. How does Dallas avoid that from happening?
Well, luckily you have your big man, Big Tyron Smith, okay? Big Tyron's out there. So Tyron's seen everything that you could possibly throw at him. But that doesn't change the fact that he still has one heck of a matchup. They do try to change things up and free up Khalil Mack by doing stunts, by bringing him off the edge. But one thing that he does really well that most guys don't have in their toolbox is just straight power. Let's go ahead and see a play through real quick. Boom, right here on the left side, you see him good. He coming off the ball, positive right there. Look at his leverage. He is underneath this offensive lineman. And when this offensive lineman, you look at his foot, this foot is in the air. This foot is dang near in the air right here. Okay, that is not the position you want to be in. He is simply just going to drive you back into the quarterback. And then when he gets there, he is popping the ball out. He does a good job there with the strip sack. He can do things off of stunts. He can do things off of scheme, but sometimes he just wants to come off the ball with a vengeance and come out there, drive you back into the quarterback, strip the ball out, cause you problems. That's one of his big plays that he had against the Raiders that you mentioned. He had 6 sacks in one single game.
One game, which is unbelievable. That's the power. What does the finesse look like from Khalil Mack?
Yeah, here comes the finesse. Well, here comes the finesse and effort straight off the back, okay? Right on the inside. We just talked about how they try to free up their defensive ends. Well, they also try to free up their D tackles. You're going to see him insert on the inside. He's going to cross, and they're going to run a stunt on their interior defensive line. Where is Khalil Mack at? Well, Khalil Mack is right here on the edge, okay? He's in a wide 9. You might as well put him in an 11 technique. But I want you to look at his responsibility is to do what? Come out here and put pressure on Garoppolo. Try to give the quarterback some pressure. But I want you guys to watch what he does first. Go ahead and pass it off. Boom. Play it through. Pause it right there. This is not his responsibility. His responsibility is not to come out here and disrupt what this running back is doing. But guess what? He understands that that's going to help his defense because they're playing soft coverage on the back end. So if he knows if he can disrupt what's going on here, he can cause some mayhem and help out his players. Also, now he's way out the box. Look where he's at. He's right here, way outside the box. But let's play it through. Where does he go? Beeline straight to Garoppolo. Boom. I mean, not Garoppolo, but Carr goes out there and makes a big play on him, okay? Knocks him down, gets the sack. They'll go back to the beginning of the play. Right off the bat, okay, he's already in 11 technique, comes out, gets the bump, and then comes down here and goes out there and gets Carr. It is an amazing play. The fact that he can come out here and close this gap right now, boom, and go out there and pull the trigger. Again, that was one of his 6 sacks. He's going to cause mayhem. You have to have your eyes on him, but you can't forget about Bosa. You don't want to chip one side. You don't want to forget about the other side. You have a lot to worry about, Dallas Cowboys, but I have faith in you.
Yeah, definitely so. And you can't teach motor. You can teach technique. You can teach the different types of schemes, but the motor is different. And that's what these two guys have, is the motor going up against that Dallas Cowboys offensive line. When we come back, we'll give you some more keys to a Cowboys victory this week. How do they bounce back? How does CeeDee Lamb bounce back from a disappointing Week 5 when Special Edition returns?
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. And by AT&T, official sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys.
Wrapping things up here on Special Edition as the Cowboys look for a reboot or a recharge against the Los Angeles Chargers in Week 6. Back with Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Barry, I'll start with you. Keys to the game. How do the Cowboys get back in the winning ways?
Well, my keys to the game is defensively. Be who you are. Quit being the guy that gets bullied and be the bully out there. Get back to exerting your dominance on the football field. This team needs you.
Find a way to get CeeDee Lamb the ball. Move him around, motion, shifts, bunch, I don't care. Get him the ball, otherwise you have a problem on your hands.
Offensive line, we need to take over the game. We need to be these bullies Barry's talking about. We need to be very, very physical. Take over the game and let Dak be free.
Do they bully their way to a win, Nate Newton?
They will. It will be a bloody, ugly, handling the adversity game, but it will be by 1 point.
1 point along the way. Nate Newton back to the traditions here on Special Edition. For Isaiah, Barry, Nate, I'm Kyle Yeoman saying so long. We'll see you Monday Night Football. It's the Cowboys and the Chargers in Week 6 of the NFL season.